mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. They come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go in a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented, you have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, we are live on Synergy Network from 7 to 8 p.m. every night with a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Remember that, viewers. I also encourage you, viewers, to become a member of Real Talk Credit Union. Now, if you don't plant a seed today, you will not be able to reap from that tree later on. Word of advice, and it's a financial tip. So viewers, if you plant a seed today, you open a savings account today, later down the road, you will be able to reap from that seed you plant. Remember that. You can open a savings account, you can buy shares, you can even open a fixed deposit account right here at Real Talk Credit Union, located at number 14 Caroline Savannah Road in Shogunal. Remember that, viewers. And also, Real Talk is offering you 4% on fixed deposit. Remember that. You cannot get this interest rate nowhere in Trinidad and Tobago. Understand that, viewers. Pretty soon, Real Talk Credit Union will be in Guyana, just like Real Talk Finance and Investment. Understand that. We will be the first credit union in Trinidad and Tobago to venture outside of our country. Where are you getting a better result or a leader in finance doing that? Only Real Talk. Why? The head of Real Talk is an individual with a vision who God has blessed with talent. And because of talent, it has taken me different places throughout the world. So viewers, those from Guyana, Grenada, Barbados, very soon will be in your country. Real Talk Credit Union. Remember that. So you have, let me tell you this, you have money sitting down in financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago and it's not working for you. Well, come on down to Real Talk Credit Union, open an account and watch your money grow. It's the best I could tell you. Let me tell you something. If you have $10,000 for 5 years in a financial institution, and you're not getting anything from that $10,000, bring it to Real Talk Credit Union. bring it to Real Talk Credit Union and watch it grow. Remember, Real Talk is a financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is going to be opening branches outside of our country. So when you tell yourself, hey, Real Talk Credit Union ain't going nowhere, let me tell you something. You know, when I started the credit union, a lot of people call and say, oh, Saeed, next thing you end up like a Hindu credit union. Just start with. Real Talk Finance and Investment have business outside Trinidad. That is the start with. Real Talk Finance and Investment, now it's Real Talk Credit Union. Now Real Talk Credit Union will soon be in Guyana. That is our next step. You think I'm here to remain small? No, I'm here to grow big. And in growing big, the members of Real Talk Credit Union will also grow big. Why? With a better interest rate. Remember that. And what do we need? When times are getting hard, more money in our pocket. That is what we need. So remember that, viewers. That's a financial tip brought to you, Real Talk Credit Union. Nevertheless. So viewers, listen to this, Remember on a previous show, there was a claims going around that Ryan Rampersad was okay with property tax. Remember that on a previous show? Okay, listen to this now. Contrary to claims by Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali that he supports the imposition of property tax, Chairman of the Kuva Tabaki Talparo Regional Corporation, Ryan Rampersad, is hitting back. He charged that Rowley mischaracterized statement he was quoted as making in an article published in another newspaper. During the passage of the Property Tax Amendment Bill, Rowley quoted a newspaper article in which Rampersad was reported as lamenting that a drop in property tax from 3% to 2% of the annual rental value would see his corporation lose $13 million in anticipated revenue. Now, in his argument, Rowley stated that Rampersad's position indicated division among the UNC members on the continuous property tax. Now listen to this.
He was responding to Minister of Finance Colin Imbert's announcement that residual property tax would be reduced from 3% to 2% of the annual rental value. Rampersad said, while the UNC does not support the tax. Now I think Rampersad is the UNC chairman for Kuva Tabaki Talparo. He is UNC then, but the UNC does not support the tax. The corporation had made plans for the monies that were expected to be generated. So while the parliamentarians are breathing flames like dragons in here, the local government practitioners at their leadership are making plans to budget for and to spend the 3%. And when they hear that the government is not going to levy the tax at 3% and would reduce it by a third, he computed that to dollars and cents already, and he said, we were expecting to get $41 million, and that means we'd be losing $13 million. And then he went on to tell you what effect that will have on them in the corporation. He said, several projects will suffer as a result, including a landslip preparation program, buying equipment to clear water courses, to deal with flooding, and at least to reduce the flood politics that they play. Madam Speaker, I could tell you without fear of contradiction that while the people of Diego Martin West through their MPs have been supporting property tax, while we have been struggling to get to the point here today through the courthouse by time and time again, nobody in Diego Martin has yet made a plan to spend that money. Kuva Tabaki Talparo already made plans to spend it.
So Ryan Rampersad, anybody in Ryan Rampersad constituency has a number for him? Would you call him and tell him call Saeed, or tune into Real Talk and see if he would call any program? Because I tried to contact him to get a live interview, and it was unsuccessful. So Ryan Rampersad, or somebody who know him, you have his number, contact him, tell him to call in Real Talk tonight to clear the air. We want to hear it from the horse's mouth himself. We heard the Prime Minister. Now we want to hear it from Ryan. If Ryan could call us tonight during our program from 7 to 8, we will so much appreciate it, because I tried to contact him today and it was unsuccessful. Trinidad and Tobago. However, contrary to insinuations made by Rowley, Rampersad said he opposed the implementation of property tax as orchestrated by the present administration. Now viewers, this is a back and forth here now, eh? This is a back and forth here now, I want to let you understand that. Now, he said, any suggestions otherwise is blatant misrepresentation of his stance on the matter. Rampersad insisted he did not endorse the unjust property tax scheme being enforced by the current PNM government, and he reiterated that property tax in its current form is unjust and unfundamental and odds with the well-being of the citizens. So Ryan, if you could contact our program tonight, 238-6716, call in, let us hear what you have to say concerning this. Now viewers, staying on the same issue, however, for an article last week, Rampersad did raise concerns over the government's decision to reduce property tax. Rampersad added that while the UNC does not support the tax, the corporation made plans for the money that they were expected to be generated. He said several projects will suffer as a result, including a landslip prevention program, the purchase of 2 excavators, as well as other heavy equipment to distill watercourse to prevent flooding in the region. So Ryan, call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Ali. And first and foremost, Yahampa, thank you very much. I appreciate it, my friend, and Ramadan Mubarak to you and your family. Mr. Ali, this gentleman you call Keith Rowley, I hate to say Prime Minister, because that gentleman is very, very far from the truth. That man watching Trinidad and Tobago and lying blatantly. That man would oppose in Manning time about the property tax. He said $1 is plenty. $1 is plenty for his constituents. They cannot afford that, Mr. Speaker. He fight down Mr. Manning. Today you want to play smart and foolishness. So I want you to call this gentleman that's from STVREALTALK, right? Call him and you will hear the truth, or play the clip on what he played yesterday in Parliament. Saddam Hussein. You will see the smart playing with foolishness that the PNM. The PNM intend to all smart people in this country and fool them because elections are coming up close. And they're saying that they're very frightened because people are going to vote against them. People are going to get rid of them. So this gentleman called Keith Rowley is very, very far from the truth, Mr. Ali. I cannot see Trinidad and Tobago and parent supporters will really listen to that man. That man, everything come out of that man's mouth is a bunch of untruth and lies, my friend. And people must wake up and smell the coffee and understand that PNM is about pressuring you. And the pressuring their own people. Their own people rebelling, but rebelling silently. The rebellion. And in the end of the day, the People's Partnership and the UNC, you understand? Right now, the UNC right now need to wake up and go out and tell the people exactly what's taking place with this PNM and this property tax. Because the plain smart first. Imagine you're the finance minister and Mr. Rowley and them have all this building, all part of the world. You understand, alleged. Let me say it this way. And all of a sudden, you're telling people you want to pay property tax because all part of the world pay property tax in the end of the day. How come I want to ask the people let Keith Rowley and the all the high rankings of the PNM right now, the finance minister, them declare the asset in 2015 to now and ask them where they get all this property and all this money, my brother. And you want to poor people, you want to pressure them, my friend. All you Trinidad and Tobago, all you wake up and smell the coffee, because in the end of the day, PLM going to pressure all you and destroy all you and all the family, my friend. I thank you, my brother.
Thank you, my friend. Francis, I thank you for the hamper. Yeah? First things first. The viewers, I'll tell you something. How do you feel now that we have shed a lot of light on property tax? How do you feel now that if you are exempted from property tax for 10 or 15 years and you pass it on to your son or your daughter or your grandchild, they would have to foot that bill that you were exempted from? What do you think about that now? And according to the audio clip that I played from someone from the Trinidad and Tobago Revenue Authority, if you do not pay your property tax in 3 months, they could come and sell out your fridge, your stove, your TV, your washing machine. They're picking up your gas tank and selling it off. And if you don't pay property tax in 5 years, they have in place where they could seize your property and sell it. Do you think Colin Mimbo is going to take advantage of that? My switch. Just imagine. Colin Mimbo went to Parliament, brought forth a legislation, and it will always keep reminding you this as a citizen. That individual went to Parliament, brought a legislation, an amendment, and a bill to make sure he is exempted from paying property tax, and passed down property tax to you, the citizens, with a penalty on it that if you don't pay, it will become a criminal offense. You could serve time and you could pay $5,000. That is what the loving PNM finance minister brought onto you, the citizen who voted PNM. I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this very clearly. If the UNC was there, being the present administration, or UNC governor Trinidad and Tobago at this moment, I am on television, and they brought forward the same bill, I would have been doing the very same thing. I am not politically intact with any party. So as long as you are UNC or PNM or whatever, and you're coming against the citizen, it is my right, it is my duty to make you, the citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, aware of your rights. Just remember that. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saeed, and Ramadan Mubarak to all your listeners. Listen to this. The property tax is also a property tax and is also a debt tax. When you die, you still have to pay tax.
Correct.
Because the tax will be deferred onto your
children or grandchildren. Yes.
As a human being, why are you sacrificing to make, particularly when you're children to pass on your property, work hard to make them have a better lifestyle, and the government punishing you for it? Why are we so unlucky that we have a leprechaun mining the treasury? You know that leprechaun has not gone on vacation since he has become Minister of Finance, and people must ask the question, why he has not gone on vacation? When he retires, which might be pretty soon, when he's been thrown out of office, he expects to get a big fat salary.
Correct.
The other thing is, I want people, you see that increase in salaries that they say they're still reviewing? Remember they say they change it. You know what is the biggest increase? The biggest increase is for the opposition leader, and that is not for the Honorable Kamala Prasad, you know. That is for KCR. When he goes in opposition, he fixing the bed. So when he go in opposition, he's getting a fast salary. That he took at the trade. All you have to understand, KCR went into the parliament and lied with email gate. So anything comes out of his mouth is not the truth. He's a real offender of the truth. I'm going to have a nice night.
Thank you, my friends. So that is one bacchanal there. Now listen this. Public Administration Minister Alison West is not satisfied with the level of productivity in the public sector and is making moves to address the issue. So I want to ask Alison, what is she not satisfied with? Responding to questions in the Senate, West stated that productivity was multidimensional with many factors like employee engagement, job burnouts, work-life balance, and more are having an impact on employees' performance. Now I'm going to tell Alison something. Anything the government implements, any new strategy or tax the government implements and it affects the owners of business, as who we would call the private sector, you're going to see a tripling effect passing down to employees. So if Alison doesn't know about strategies and how rippling effects function, well, she have a right to be making these statements. She have a right to be making these statements. Because, for instance, when Colin Imbert raised the price of gas twice in 1 year, who does it affect? The business owner. And from the business owner now, they have to pass that cost down to the product or the produce they're selling. And if they have workers now, 1 or 2 workers might end up getting a letter to go home. I want Alison to understand that. How do you call that? It's a rippling effect. As long as the owner of the business have to take that strain, the rest come along along the line will feel it, Alison. You see, you are feeling no strain. Tax-free money, tax-free this, tax-free that, tax-free the next. All you have to worry about nothing. But all I go to work or not, all still getting all pay. But business owners, when workers work from 8 to 5 and they go home, business owners starting from 4 in the morning till 9 o'clock in the night. And that is the difference, Alice. Now listen to this. While the ministry does not have the mechanism to measure productivity, she said it relies on other indices. Call a good night.
Good night, Saeed.
Go right ahead, you're live, my friend.
I had 2 things, one to ask you and one to say.
Talk to me.
The one I have to say is that PNM know they're going to lose election, so they're already trying to pull the kitty to have enough before the election gone. The other thing is, all this house you have all over the place, here want to declare all them assets.
Hey, that's a serious thing, you know. You saw
You
it?
understand? all the nursing home in Brooklyn and thing, and the house in California and thing, you can't talk about that.
He
And
wouldn't say
one
anything
more
about
thing,
that.
all the past government them, they bring in ones that are goat and sheep. All alone no way there. You could find out where them goat and sheep gone.
I know where they are. Thank you, my friend. Now, viewers, she said, Alison, she said that the ministry is focusing on staff supervision practice, staff appraisal, and recognition system to monitor the achievement of work targets. Alice.
Productivity is multidimensional and multifaceted, with factors such as employee engagement, job burnout, work attitudes, job resources, leadership, and work-life balance impacting how employees produce and manage work. The Ministry of Public Admin has no specific mechanism at this time to measure productivity in the public service, but relies, among other things, on indices such as the Global Competitiveness Index and the Ease of Doing Business rank, which provides an overview of the productivity levels of Trinidad and Tobago as measured by the World Economic Forum and the World Bank, respectively. In the meantime, staff supervision practices, the system of staff appraisals, rewards and recognition systems, the introduction of new ICT platforms to monitor and report on achievement of work targets in relation to divisional, unit, departmental and ministry objectives and mandates are among the areas that are receiving the ministry's active attention.
West said the ministry was working on introducing software that helps track and analyze abstention, and added that the ministry has embarked on the enterprise human capital software that will be able to produce reports on such absence.
The ministry has acquired and is embarked on the implementation of modern, intuitive enterprise human capital management software that will be able to efficiently analyze and produce trends and periodic reports on such absences that can be incorporated into supervisory management practices to support performance management at both its strategic and operational levels across the civil service.
So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to hear the PM worried about citizens turning a blind eye to crime after this.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back to welcome back to Real Talk viewers. The viewers, remember Real Talk Credit Union is expecting you to call us. Our office number will be on screen, viewers, in a few seconds from now. Remember, call our offices, set up an appointment, come down, open a savings account, buy shares, or even a fixed deposit. Remember, viewers, we are a licensed financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago now. So, very soon, viewers, to add with Real Talk portfolio, we're going to be moving to Guyana soon. I want to let you understand that it's growth we're looking at. It's growth, not stability, but growth. I want stability. Not standstill waters now, you know. Presently we are stable. We are stable. But always looking for a word, stagnant. We're not stagnant. We're not stagnant. We are not like other financial institutions, just birthed in Trinidad, stay in Trinidad, shut down in Trinidad. No, we're not stagnant. We are stable and we are crossing waters. Remember that. So when you want to invest in a company that is growing with more interest rate, Real Talk Credit Union, Real Talk Finance and Investment. Remember that. So join us, call our office, set up an appointment. Moving along, viewers. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has expressed concerns that citizens are turning a blind eye to the criminal element in this country. The PNM called out citizens who support and encourage criminals to task, saying, it was unacceptable for law-abiding citizens to remain quiet when they know those who use illegal weapons to commit crime. Rowley said, up until recent, most of the killing are done by people with assault weapons, which are hard to transport or operate without members seeing something. He called on citizens to report to the police if they know something, because there are too many people who know the criminals and are one who encourage it. Listen to the
Today, I want to say to families across Trinidad and Tobago that it is unacceptable for you to be knowing who is having and engaging in criminal conduct with the use of firearms, and you keep that a secret to yourself, and it is only when the firearm is discharged and kills somebody that you react and call upon the police and the government to do something. The something that you do after somebody is killed is to bury the dead. The something that is required to be done, it may very well be that you can do that something to prevent it, and that is, if you know who it is, then for God's sake, tell the police what they have, where they are, and then something would be done. And I must say today that there are too many people in this country who know who the killers are, who know who the criminals are, and who are turning a blind eye to it. And worse, who are encouraging it.
So, Keita, I understand your statement. Now, listen this. Can the Commissioner of Police make a bold statement on a media platform? You see how I live here on television? Can the Commissioner of Police, together with the Minister of National Security, together with the head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago, can three of them call a media briefing? And I want to hear the Commissioner of Police verbally saying to police officers, I am going to hold you responsible as a police officer in the community that you serve for every crime that happened in your community. Can the Commissioner of Police stand on a platform and a live coverage and say those words? Can she say those words? Can the Minister of National Security back her up? Can the head of the Security Council for Trinidad and Tobago back her up with those words? That I would love to see. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead, you're live.
I have a question. You spoke about your credit union. And my understanding of a credit union is, your members who invest in the credit union, which is to purchase shares, are like the shareholders of the credit union. So my question to you is, when are you planning your annual general meeting to elect the board of directors, members of the credit and the supervisory committee? That's my question. Thank you.
Family, when last did you read the papers? When last did you read the papers? If this is what is love challenges, you know. This is what is love challenges. Give me 1 second. I just go and offset to come back. Stay right there. I love challenges, you know. I want to tell people, when you're coming at Saieed, I'm going to tell you something. When you come in at Saieed, come damn good. Hold on. Now, I'm forwarding you something. You get it? I love challenges, you know. That what is always tell all you. When a look come at me, come good, you know. Put that on TV. Tuesday the 19th of March, this was posted. Put that up on television. You're rushing, I'm holding on. Director, holding on for you. Search. Trinidad and Tobago, I just love when people challenge me, you know. I just love a challenge, you know. But you know what I do appreciate? What I do appreciate is when you're calling in the program and trying to make me look now like I ain't know nothing. You understand? You could have called me 2391670 and asked me that. You could have called me privately, or you could have called any number in my office and asked them that, and they would have tell you. They would have tell you that. Now caller, it would look like you are a fool now. This is how the repeat of it would look. You see, if you did look in your papers, you understand? If you did call the office, you'd have found out. You could guys zoom up on the date, post it. You could drag it down right there. You see, I just be fair with everybody, you know. Zoom down. Hey, the top of the page. Trinidad and Tobago, I love to be fair with individuals, you know. They're bringing it up for you. You see. If you did buy papers and go through your papers, you would have known. Don't call to try to insult Saieed, especially when we're going live. Nah, don't work like that. Tuesday the 19th of March 2024. Good, come back to me now. One thing I don't play is games. I don't play games. That's one thing I don't. The caller, you could have called me on the phone. Trinidad and Tobago now are looking at you. But wait now, you tried to call Saieed to insult Saieed on TV and to put him on the spot. Look what you get now in your face. It is a good thing me watch me now. It was a kind of bad man, stupid kind of man that I call out your number on TV, you know. Director, if I was a kind of stupid man, I call out your number on TV, you know. Just for trying to insult me. Anyhow, let me stick to the program. We're back to Rowley. Rowley said, many of the criminals live in household, and those who may know about their activities are all part of the problem. The PM acknowledged that difficulties with the police and Coast Guard, but added that they are available to respond in the criminal elements once the information is presented.
We have difficulty with the police, yes we know. We have difficulty with the Coast Guard, yes we know. We have difficulty with the Treasury, yes we know. But we are constantly available to respond to the criminal element once the information about their presence and their intent are known to the state authorities. Many of these people live in households. A person cannot be handling an assault weapon in your household and you don't know. And if you are the mother, the father, the neighbor, the cousin, the friend, and you know, then you are part of the problem if you provide them with the secrecy that they need to remain there.
referencing a parliamentarian colleague who complained that a murderer who is on bail had committed another murder and was now on bail for the second time. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, who passed that legislation to give murderers bail? Who passed that? That went in the House. It passed in the House. But you think that could pass in a courthouse? You think that could pass on a pavement? No. It cannot pass in a rum shop. It cannot pass in the bedroom. It cannot pass while driving a car. It have to go to Parliament. Who passed that? Keep your asking. I'll listen to this.
Just understand that now that we have become the bleeding hearts, where persons who the DPP see enough evidence to have them charged and extracted, we now decide that they must have and be out there on bail. We also know that when they come out, they're not going to church to be no choir boy. They're coming out to kill the witnesses. That's what it is. We better face those realities. And we also should know that when we enter the realm of putting violent criminals who are outside on bail, that the average citizen will want nothing to do with being a witness in any violent matter. Because if you are a witness, you know what your portion is, even if the person is convicted. And our judicial system will only survive to dispense justice if there are witnesses who are prepared to stand up and say, I saw this or I know that. As long as the system eschews that, the criminals would have won the war, because everything is in their favor.
If our Prime Minister doesn't know witnesses are being gunned down in Trinidad and Tobago, is there anything properly in place for witness protection? Is there anything in place for a proper witness protection program? I am sure there's nothing in. I am sure about it. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Said. Great program. Do not be distracted by that lady. She should call Rowley and Hines and find out what they're doing with the citizens' money from this country. You are doing a good job. Your credit union is helping people and so on. What the PNM government is doing and what that lady is doing to better this country, Mr. Said, you keep up the great work that you are doing. And I have information for Ola Christopher. Ola Christopher must now go and arrest the most notorious gang and the gang leader in this country, Idi Amin, Brother Rowley. The world is telling us about them. They are the most notorious criminal gang in this country. The property tax, they legalize crime. That property tax is robbery on the citizens of this country, unarmed robbery. And this gang, this criminal gang in Parliament feel that is not enough for the citizens. They pass law now that they must come into your home. If you were paid that, they must come into your home and take your property, seize your television, your bed, your stove, your refrigerator. That is a crime and that is robbery. And I want Ola Christopher to go and arrest that gang who is legalizing crime, because they feel that the gangs they are supporting and the criminals they are supporting is not doing enough to the citizens who that property tax is meant for. They are doing enough to rob them, so they are legalizing robbery now so that these people will come now and clean out your house. Mr. Said, Ola Christopher, you go and have all of them arrested. Thank you very much. You keep up the great work.
Thank you, my friend. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to read something for you. Finance Minister Coleman would have stated that there are significant benefits to borrowing domestically. When he opened a debate in the Senate on a motion to increase the statutory limit of borrowing under the Development Loan Act from $65 to $75 billion. So they want to move from 65 billion to 75 billion. Now, I want to ask you, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, this. They put a tax on the pump. Every time we full, or every time we go to the gas station and full our tank, we pay taxes. The government said that we're going to have better roads. Did you all see the better roads we have in Trinidad and Tobago? Did you all see the better roads? I want to ask Colin something. Did you see better roads in Trinidad and Tobago? Are you from a rural area? Do you have better roads in your community? They tax us at the gas pump to have better roads in Trinidad and Tobago, yet they cannot find money to fix a landslip or to pave a road properly in Trinidad and Tobago, or to patch holes, but they're taxing us at the pump for better roads. That was the purpose. Now listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago. That didn't come true. That didn't come true. We have hundreds of thousands of vehicles in Trinidad and Tobago. We're supposed to have better roads because you're generating millions of dollars when you tax us at gas pump. Do we have better roads? No. You're not even holding the contractor responsible for patching a 10-kilometer stretch. We have no proper supervision in place for quality control. So the tax that we are paying at the pump, do we get better roads? No, we don't get better roads. Nobody to control that. Secondly, instead moving the borrowing under the Loan Act of Development from 65 billion to 75 billion. Now listen this. They want to introduce property tax now. So the corporation would have money now for better roads and drains in the community. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, let's listen this now. They didn't give us better roads when they tax us at the pump. They want to implement property tax now to have better roads and better drainage through property tax. Ask yourself, if the gas station pump being taxed, we didn't get better roads, how the mother in hell we go get better roads and better pavements when they start to tax our property? Ask yourself that. This is a reality and this is facts that we face in Trinidad and Tobago as a citizen. I cannot ask a blind person. I'm asking the person who has two eyes in their head. I'm asking the person who uses the road with their vehicle on a daily basis. I'm asking the person who just walk on the road. I'm asking the motorist. I'm asking the motorbike man. I'm asking the one who rides the bicycle. I'm asking the one who rides the scooter also. Do you have better roads? When your dollar, when your gas is being taxed at the pump, that was a promise. The better roads come? No, we have landslip all over Trinidad. Corporation don't even have money to buy diesel for the truck or for the backhoe to move. But you're taxing the pump, us at the pump. Now you want us to pay property tax now. For what? Better roads again. Better pavement. Better community. If we pay tax at the pump and we get roads now, how the mother in hell we go get when we pay property tax? Trinidad and Tobago, open all your eyes that God gave all you. And we're not just highlighting, you know, we bringing the facts to all in a different level, you know. Call a good night.
Very good evening to you, Mr. Saeed.
To you, my friend.
So now that I want the nation and I want you to know my business, but last year, October, November, I was in the US. And Saeed, anywhere we drive, you see it miles and miles and miles of road being freshly paved. And what is interesting is that you're seeing a big digital sign telling you your tax dollars at work. But in Trinidad, after 500 billion, which is half a trillion, we still have bad roads. The health sector in shambles. Crime is out of control. This government is out of control. Sign, you know plenty people. You know pharmacists, you know doctors and anything. I want to find out something. I need some help badly. Anytime I see this Garaha on TV, I just start to feel sick. Tell your pharmacist or somebody to recommend something for me now. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. So all I hear is, hear this strategy. Hear this strategy that Colin Imbert coming with, Imbert reiterated that when you borrow domestically, the money stays in Trinidad. What a clown. What a clown. Illiterate. I saying that on national television. Were you trying to fool? You want to sell people them bygone for sweetie? And this is why I just come here, Trinidad and Tobago, and tell all of the truth. Oh, Saieed, you're bashing. Clown. I ain't bashing, I'm educating you. I want you to understand that. Now listen this. When you borrow domestically, the money stays in Trinidad. But when you borrow overseas, it must be paid back, meaning the money leaves the country. This man is some kind of clown for Trinidad or something. I'll listen to this.
When you borrow domestically, the money stays in Trinidad and Tobago, circulates in the economy, and you have the multiplier effect, which stimulates economic activity. When you borrow overseas, and you have to pay back overseas, the money leaves Trinidad and Tobago. So that this government has focused its borrowing domestically for many, many, many different reasons. All of them logical, all of them very good reasons.
Okay, Colin. Now answer this. When you all went to China for the pandemic, didn't you all borrow a big set of loan, $200-something million? Didn't you all did that? Why didn't you borrow domestically? We have banks in Trinidad. How much y'all had to give back China when y'all take the loan? Come on, Colin. This is what I want you to come out and tell the people. How much money did you have to leave in China when you borrowed the loan? Ooh, that is loving it. I'm just loving it tonight. You want to come and try to wrap up the heads of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? I will open their eyes to see what you are wrapping up. He told senators, events such as COVID-19 pandemic and its associated global economic session. And here they say, and the Russia and Ukraine war, which created a situation where all countries had to borrow money to stimulate their economy and protect the most vulnerable people. Listen this, and then I go tell you something.
Like most countries of the world, we had to increase our debt during COVID to bridge the gap created by plummeting revenues and increased demands for higher socioeconomic expenditure to protect the vulnerable in society. As lockdown measures were instituted due to new waves of infections locally and around the globe. Further, in 2022, the global economy was confronted by a very costly humanitarian crisis triggered by the unprecedented war in Ukraine. This compounded the lingering costs associated with cushioning the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
So, Colin Mimbert, now I want you to come out and tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago whose head you are trying to wrap around so that they wouldn't see what you are saying or doing. Tell the citizens how much money was donated to Trinidad during the pandemic and how much money you borrowed. And the borrowed money, where did it go? And the money that you all got from donation, where did it go? You think you could come out and tell the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago the hard truth and the raw facts? No, you can't. You can't do that. You're talking about the war in Russia and Ukraine. So let me just give you a heads up again, citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. The war in Ukraine and Russia. What did they do to Trinidad and Tobago? Guyana dropped their gas price. Barbados dropped their gas price. What? We talking about war in Ukraine and Russia. Guyana dropped their gas price and taxes. Barbados dropped their gas price and taxes. What did they do in Trinidad? Come on, come on. Let's say something. Saieed, you're bashing. I have raw facts. I have raw facts. This is the only country in the Caribbean while the war was going on, raise our gas price twice. Caller, good night.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Go right ahead.
Sorry, two things I want to touch on real quick, buddy. First of all, you're concerning witnesses and this slippery play with Rowley talking about people that they have information and things, right?
Mm-hmm.
What he don't understand and what he not getting in his thick skull is that people not going to come forward with any information because they have no trust in the police service. You understand what I'm telling you? The police, majority of them working hand in hand with criminals. People know this. People on the ground know this. Government officials know this, but yet they still come and bamboozle their head and tell you about, oh, you should go up. You know how far somebody going to get gone now if they go as a witness? They have nothing in place for that person. And furthermore, you want to give the person 4% on their salary. You think police want to do their job when they get 4% on their salary when they can make a whole lot of money being friends with the criminals? You tell me now. Tell me. The next thing I want to touch on is property tax, right? The last caller call and talk about property tax, right? You're saying, and the Prime Minister saying, that when you pay your property tax, you'll get certain amenities. Like you'll get your drain clean, you'll get your road fixed, you'll get your garbage pick up, and whatever. But in the clause, in the bill where the Finance Minister brought to Parliament this week, they have nothing like that.
No.
That money not going to be added to the corporation fund for the year. So if you check it out, when the corporation gets property tax from the citizens, the government going to cut the money that they get in property tax from central government, so you're going to end up with the same figure. So how are you going to get your road fixed and your drain clean? Tell me. So the Prime Minister coming out to fool people again. Let me tell you something. This property tax bill side, and I'm saying it again, it has so much of flaws and so much of things that the Finance Minister trying to do people. Let me tell you something. Economists all over the country saying that how the economy crashing and it's crashing already. But he coming now to tell you on a platform that he's seeing growth, economic growth. Who you gonna believe? You gonna believe a economist or you gonna believe a carpenter?
Thank you, my friend.
You gonna believe?
I understand what you're saying. Thank you so much. You see, this is why I tell people to call in, you know. Call in and highlight it, because this is the only program in Trinidad and Tobago that brings you the hard and the raw facts, you know. That's the reason why God gave me the inspiration to name my show Real Talk with Saieed. So viewers, it's the month of Ramadan, and I want you to rock back, take it down, and just listen to this.
بالشوق فتحنا الأبواب يا رمضان يا رمضان جئت فجاء الخير وطاب يا رمضان يا رمضان تنزل فيك الرحمات تغمرنا بالبركات ما أجملها لحظات أهلا أهلا رمضان تهليل وتسابيح وصيام وتراويح للجنات مفاتيح أهلا أهلا رمضان 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 أهلا أهلا رمضان 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 أهلا أهلا رمضان قلب لله أناب يا رمضان يا رمضان وقف بباب الله فذاب يا رمضان يا رمضان فرحا عاد لمولاه يشدو بكتاب الله يرجو ما عند الله أهلا أهلا رمضان تهليل وتسابيح وصيام وتراويح للجنات مفاتيح أهلا أهلا رمضان 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 أهلا أهلا رمضان 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 أهلا أهلا رمضان شفع فينا القرآن واحفظنا بالإيمان أدخلنا يا ربي من باب الريان رمضان 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 أهلا أهلا رمضان 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 أهلا أهلا رمضان
That concludes our program for tonight. But nevertheless, I want to say a special good night to those of you who are viewing our program, all the callers. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, good night.